Welcome back to, what was this game called again?
I think you forgot it, Sans.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see what Malik is doing in the deeper part of the treasure room.
Forbidden treasure much?
Hmm. There he is.
With his League of Assassins.
But that's the thing, the enemies have been pushed, chasing up until here. What is he planning to do?
He looks like a wrestler I've seen in WWE recently.
Maybe you are as skilled a warrior as our father says. It's good to see you. Come with me.
So did Johnny Gargano.
I still can't laugh at the fact that, you know, the prince never mentions his dear, dear, dear brother in any of the mainline games.
Yeah.
Like, you know, maybe this guy were an uncle or a long-lost relative.
It's one of those things where they introduce upload MM into bed because it's a retcon sort of.
Retcons aren't always bad,
So
in fact.
yeah, apparently the palace has a hidden army that can be controlled by you grasp the treasure, and Malik wants to give it a go at this point.
What does this have to do with the Forgotten Sands, I wonder? Oh, because the army was forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
And let me guess, this army is also made of sand.
Yeah, from King Solomon.
How much you want to bet that these...
This must be Anakin's first nightmare.
How much you want to bet that this army's going to be, you know, sort of the stand-in for the mooks from previous games that were also made of
Well,
sand?
let's see. Also Mummy reference, Brendan Fraser.
Though, you're going to see Bleach for this, aren't you?
Let's see.
I'd say he'd be eating crow in a minute, but more like sand, wouldn't it?
Oh, it's split in two.
Maybe they made sand zombie crows.
It's glowing.
I'm going to assume that's a good thing and not... Never mind.
You sure it's glowing, or is it pissing?
Either way, it's
Have you ever seen
glowing.
sand ripples from surfaces, Dweebs?
Yeah. Do you mind? I'm taking a piss here.
You piss sand?
Oh, shiny.
Yes, it hurts.
I'd imagine. Ooh.
He said don't touch it, you pleb.
It is only sand.
Oops.
Only
Ooh, hey, a nice free soul. I'll take it. Well, gee, what a shock. Turns out the ancient prophecy MacGuffin thingamabob is a bad thing to use.
More than you can imagine. So, time to get away.
So,
Turn
essentially...
them into sand statues.
So, essentially, this entire family is pretty much cursed to always be screwed whenever they're messing with anything that has to do with sand.
Yep.
Oh no, it turned into a gorilla
demon.
tusk? A demon, yeah. That was quite a convenient way for that thing to crumble. So, they're gonna take care of the enemies outside, or are we just gonna have these add on to our enemies who are trying to get to us from outside?
No, these sand skeletons will be our main enemy for the game.
Wait, so what about the enemy outside our gates? Do they just fall off the plot?
Pretty much, the prince basically comments that the sand creatures basically take them as well.
What
Oh,
the
and
heck
someone
is
else
that?
We'll see. Run.
Hey, where's the brother?
We got separated, Joe.
Oh, right, yeah.
We can say he got sanded.
It was a bit disorienting during that cutscene to keep track.
The new website, the sanded.com.
Yeah, no, it's what would happen if Thanos was more lenient with the Infinity Gauntlet. He wouldn't dissolve them into dust, he just
Yeah,
turned them
there
into
you go.
sand.
The prince even said, why is it always sand?
Oh, look, it's the Assassin's Creed symbol.
Oh, I remember this kind of portal.
What? What's this doing here?
Oh my god, it's a Stargate!
Oh,
No,
look at those particles.
Don't go through it, you'll end up involved in
And that's how we got to the beginning of the game. So basically, this also pretty much tells you that those magical fountains in the first, in sense of time, who are pretty much were similar to this place, are pretty much tied to the same creature that the prince is about to encounter.
So shouldn't that mean that this creature is also tied into the events of 2 and 3 then?
That depends. It may have been a creature of the same species, but not the same one, the same actual creature.
The main reason I bring this up is because, you know, since everything is tied into sand, and seeing as how the sands of time, which apparently are related to this creature, hello there, are also tied into 2 and 3, it would kind of imply that this ties into that as well. So, who was that?
That's how I found my way here. But where is here exactly? And who are you? And what do you know of King
And how do you
Solomon's
know
army?
my name?
Oh! It's always a hot chick with these, isn't it?
Queen of the Marid, guardian of the waters.
There you go.
and ally to
A
Prince
spirit of the
Solomon
water.
himself.
Well, okay, so she'd pretty much be able to kick Kylina's butt in a fight, seeing as how Kylina's all sand.
You couldn't possibly.
I am of the djinn.
Oh, a genie!
Not so short-lived
Yeah,
as humans,
if you
or so
remember,
quick
Jova,
to
the
forget
genes
of vital
in Persian
importance.
culture are mostly divided in 4 elements. The classic one, fire,
Do you know
water,
what
earth,
your
and wind.
brother has unleashed? That
So,
army did not
you know,
belong
this
to
would be a
King
neat
Solomon.
retcon if Kylina turned out to be a djinn, but she's sand,
No,
so...
it's basically told that the sands of time and Kaina are superior power to all. Almost alien-like, that's why at the end of the 2 thrones she just fucks away.
Uh-huh, superior. That's why we were able to kick her butt no less than 3 times in Warrior Within. And now she dies so easily, and nearly got done in by her own pirate girl servant. By falling.
That is a
Great
powerful
superior race indeed.
Alone it will help you fight the army. If you reunite the 2 halves,
So there you go, thanks
you
to
will
the
recreate its
half
wisdom.
of the amulet, the prince
You
is
must
able to
find the other
have a
half of the
fighting
seal
chance
and
against
match
the
it
same
with
creature,
one.
but his goal would be
Malik still has
reuniting back the amulet
must
and
find
reseal
him, and
away
quickly.
the army.
We will give you
So,
the
it's nice that you're helping us, but if we were going for your portals in the first game, why didn't you ever just come to us physically and tell us what to do
It's
then?
not hers, it's
you wish
pretty
to
much
stop the
implied
army,
that it
you
was
will need
from
more
another
time.
Marid that
Have
just
given
left
it
it
to you.
there. Especially because the prince doesn't
And the final
encounter
warning,
a Marid
the army is
in
led
those.
by Ratash,
Fair enough.
one of
You
the
know, I'll
key
give her credit. I mean, as far as entities go, she's the most helpful of them in these
Razia, by
series.
the way, is voiced by
You cannot
Sally
hope to win against him.
Saffioti. I don't know
I'll
what
keep
else she
that in
did.
mind.
Oh, she was in
There is
Watchmen.
no hope for
You
this.
know, I'll admit
The-
it.
Not reunite the
Oh, she's been the voice actress of
Why do I get
Hunningham
the
from
feeling
Resident
this won't be
Evil.
as easy as
Oh,
Basically, Leon's mission control ever since Resident Evil 4.
huh, cute. You know, I'll give this game this. It definitely is the best. Well, I guess it makes sense that it's the best animations of any so
Rolling
far.
around at the speed of sound. Anyway, basically, Razias give you a set of powers, as you will see in a second.
Yes!
Take a wall guess what the first power is.
Rewinding and forwarding through time. There! Oh, look at that!
Just rewinding for this case.
So I guess this time it's with the waters of
This
time.
must be what she meant by
Pretty
giving me
much.
more time. Are these the powers of the djinn?
Well, I guess it fits in with Secret Rings, where Sonic also gets the
Here's
time
thing,
power.
normally you have at this point you have an upgrade system, but since I basically play New Game Plus, I have everything already maxed out. This also means that you gain some extra powers in combat, some specific powers that you can activate.
Oh, flow power.
Yeah, or even the minor things like an attack boost or more health. Simple stuff like that. All will be shown in due time. Basically, it all helps with the combat in order to not make them stand too long, which we'll see in a second. I was just showcasing here.
So, yeah, shouldn't it be water power since we got it from a water djinn? Unless...
Yeah. These should be actually water powers. Although they do not work the exact same way the sands power work, because they don't give you like the stuff. Oh shit. They don't give you stuff, the same identical stuff that the sands power give to you.
Not that
So-
I'm complaining or anything. I mean, hey, she's more helpful than any of the past spirits have been. Like, Kylina should have been taking some notes on how to be, you know, a proper spirit, because maybe then she wouldn't have been constantly dying.
Or be paranoid.
That too, yeah. It's like, dang, I mean, this girl sees us here and she's like, hey, there's someone who can help. Thank you!
It's also because of a case of emergency, because she believes, thanks to the amulet, that the prince is the best bet that she has.
Oh, someone who doesn't constantly blame him for everything even when it's not technically his fault. Okay, you know, it's a shame that this game didn't take off. Well, then again, I guess even if it did take off, they wouldn't have made
Which
her
reminds
a
me, in the
recurring
meantime,
character.
huge shout out to Comrade General, who has been basically in the meantime informing me and all of us about the Prince of Persia series on the other videos, and basically told us that the Wii and the S versions of the Sands of Forgotten Sands are supposedly also canonical in some way, happening sometime after Two Thrones, so I'll have to check out those as well, I guess.
So thanks, Comrade General.
Apparently the PSP version is still not canonical, sadly. Oops.
So yeah, expect a playthrough from those too at some point, in some shape or form.
Yeah. Also, Battles from Prince of Persia, apparently. Yeah, apparently that game, lives that I thought it was non-canonical. Apparently it is, and it's the one of explaining the angstiness of the prince in the War Within. Anyway, yeah, as you can see, the combat, like I said in the previous part, has been more simplified and made it more like Dynasty Warriors. The prince still has his acrobatic standard move, but as you can see, it's more complicated. Anyway, here's some of the powers. The Earth power gives you an armor, basically heavy armor, you don't flinch, and you take way less damage. There you go.
Oh, and look at that! Their skulls swirl around us after we defeat them.
No, yeah, oh yeah, that too.
Okay.
Thanks, I guess. Anyway, like the prince noticed, the stables may lead a way out. So
I'm sorry, he just looks a bit silly with those skulls just rolling around him.
Those are stones, actually.
Really? They look so much like the skulls.
Remember, earth powers.
Oh, you were using earth powers, okay.
Yeah, like I said, you have one major magical power for the combat from each of the 4 elements.
Wow, so from one water djinn we get pretty much, unless we meet other elemental djinns later on in the story.
You don't unlock them all at once, you have to use the upgrade system. I'm just using those because I am maxed out.
True. I'm just saying it's like, well, in the context of a story, I guess we can assume that
those are for the combat, Joe. When it comes to the actual platformings for the elements, the Razia will actually give you in a more, not scripted way, but more separated way. For now, she just gave you the power of rewinding time. I don't remember if it's tied to water or air, but it's one of the two.
Yeah, I'm not complaining or anything, I'm just wondering, does this mean that she has the potential to wield all elements if via her power we can wield all these different elements?
You're maybe onto something, but you will see.
Yeah, as I was saying, unless we end up meeting other elemental djinns in this venture.
There is one more that we need to meet, but you actually have seen it in this part.
Huh. Oh, it was probably that giant thing from earlier.
Well, don't worry, Jova, we will meet him soon enough again.
God forbid it somehow be friendly.
Don't like the sound.
We'll see. Nope. Oop.
Well, let's just hope that wasn't a trap. It is very much a trap.
Just once, I'd like to find defenses that could tell me from an enemy.
I know, right? Well, unfortunately, sorry, Prince.
Why not just shout to
God, his.
Why not just shout to the ears? Hey, I'm the prince here.
He's gonna be feeling bad in the morning.
I can imagine it now. He shouts, "Hey, I'm the prince," and then the other guy says, "Swing it harder."
Oh well, maybe it's that guy that has the super stereotypical British accent in the first game. Pull the lever! Anyway, the firepower leaves you, basically as you leave a trail of fire behind. If the enemy steps on it, they start getting burned and everything.
He's got a real hot step, I see.
Yeah. Isn't it kind of similar to one of Blaze the Cat's powers?
Yeah, it's also similar to when Sonic moves fast enough that he leaves a flame trail.
There you go. Basically, of all the powers for the combat, each of the powers for the combat are useful in some capacity, but I tend to use only one, and you will see which one when I get to it.
curious, was this game a success?
Yes and no. It sold decently, but critically wise, it wasn't that praised. And remember, it was way after Descent trilogy had concluded, and right after the reboot, so that no one liked.
Right,
So
this was after the reboot. I keep
It
forgetting.
had big shoes to fill. And while I honestly think it's okay. Like, it's maybe a bit too simplified for its own taste, but considering the average difficulty that the series had so far, it's a bit of a relief. But at the same time, it clearly wasn't enough to win back the crowd. And Ubisoft at that point just decided to stick with Assassin's Creed.
You know, okay, there's one thing I'll give Capcom credit for. If there's one thing they're good at, it's making comebacks after some of the lowest points of their series. Like, for instance, after Ace Attorney 4 came Ace Attorney 5, which upon release was incredibly acclaimed by a lot of people. Sure, nowadays it's a bit more mixed in the feels and whatnot about how people feel about it, but even then, people generally agree that, you know, it's pretty good, you know.
Mind you, in some cases it's a bit more delayed than others. After Mega Man X6 there was Mega Man X7, but then there was Mega Man X8.
Yeah. It's just you and me, Mono-E, Dead Zone. Eh?
There you go. The traps for once actually worked in your favor.
Wow.
Perhaps these defenses do.
Oh my god, they can actually take out the undead? Huh.
Yep. Although, don't get too used to it. Like, well, they would... basically, it just means that the enemies can be damaged or insta-killed with the traps if you're playing that carefully. It's just that you will not throw in too many rooms that gives you the occasion. It was mostly also like a payoff gag from the first game.
I actually do like those kinds of games.
Are we gonna have a trap like in Toy Story 2, where there's that wall of spikes slowly, quickly speeding towards Bud, and you have to run towards a closing door?
I don't think so, Dweebs. Although that is still pretty relatively common in a lot of games.
Oh, I saw this YouTube poop where all Buzz was doing was just looking in shock at the thing and it squished him.
Yeah. Anyway, going back to what I was talking about, Psycho, I feel that, like, well, what this game needed to be something like Devil May Cry 5. Devil May Cry 5 is a Devil May Cry game where the last game officially released, not counting the special edition of Devil May Cry 4, was the reboot Devil May Cry, which not a lot of people like.
Not even Itsuno himself, apparently. He nearly quitted Capcom as a result.
Can we believe it or not that the reason we're getting Devil May Cry 5 is because it was the first thing? Yes, the first thing on a list of things that Itsuno listed as his demands.
Either that or Dragon's Dogma 2, but it shows the first one, yes, Boobs?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Jeremy, I'm that one guy at the back of the hall that yelled, I did.
Don't worry, Dweebs. Jim Sterling is giving you big company there. Emphasis on big.
Oh god, Jim.
Thanks.
Let's just say Jim Sterling, when the reboot came out, he was well, okay, you know how he's kind of infamous for his pretty bad Sonic Colors review? There was that kind of Jim Sterling where he kind of made fun of anyone who dared not completely accept this new take on it, thinking it was going to be better. Mind you, this was before the game came out.
That's why I was saying, question mark. Jim, I like the game too, but you don't want to end up like those, like some of the, let's say, less accommodating Devil May Cry fans that were shitting on other people for liking the reboot.
Oh snap!
It's kind of giving us a bad. It's kind of setting us a bad example. It's like those people.
Yeah.
Anyway, so time to test more powers. Let's see. There you go. The air power is a screen nuke.
Okay.
These makes the other powers pretty much obsolete when you can just spam. The water one gives you basically an equivalent of Link's sword projectile, but it is at full health. There you go, like that. Which leaves basically a trail of ice. But basically, like I said, while each of the powers are useful in their own unique way, The tornado one just basically makes everything else obsolete.
The fire one seems a bit weird to only really be tracked to how the prince moves as opposed to,
Well, it's supposed to work in tandem with the prince agility. The idea is that activating and just start running away. For example, when you're like at low health.
I guess the weird thing is, Echo, it makes me think of a Looney Tunes cartoon where like the Roadrunner literally leaves a flame trail.
That's what happened to both Malik's army and the enemy army.
Hey, look at the bright side.
You're breaking valuable vases. Those things could have been worth a fortune.
Hey.
Anyway, basically the game occasionally gives you these hidden sarcophaguses in order
They
to
just
give
told
you...
us where one was.
Well, that's for the tutorial one. The others will be relatively well hidden, and they're useful for giving experience points and upgrading your stuff. But like I said, since I'm maxed out, I don't need to go for the hunt.
Oh snap!
Hey Jeremy, you mentioned the Devil May Cry reboot.
Yeah.
One thing I remember that game did when it came to finding hidden items is that they were hidden from the start. They told you what they were when you found one, but you still had to look for them. Hence, being hidden.
That's nice, yeah. But yeah, as I was saying, Devil May Cry 5 is like the perfect marriage of both reboot stuff with newer stuff, seeing as how, well, let's be quite honest, Dante is pretty much just an edgier version of Nero.
He has the same hairstyle, doesn't he?
Well, keep in mind, Devil May Cry 5 Waves takes a couple of jabs at the reboot itself, including some of the memes, like the weapon of Faust, the cowboy hat that Dante gets, is precisely designed to kind of mock that offensive PowerPoint presentation that a meme did comparing Dante and Nero to the protagonist of Brokeback Mountain, which...
Oh god.
That didn't age well at all.
It didn't.
Mind, as far as I... No, I was just gonna say, why are you getting hit by axes? Mind, in the game, in the reboot itself, it only took like one jab at the series, the original one, whereas this one takes multiple.
Okay.
Is it gonna? I just hope it doesn't get to the point where.
No, Dweebs. And besides, I'll say.
Hang on. Don't worry, I'm almost done. I just hope it doesn't get to the point where it's like, okay, I know a lot of people didn't like the reboot. I can understand differing opinions. Could we please get on with the story you're telling?
To be fair,
don't worry, Dweebs. It depends on a couple of things, like subtlety and the fact that it's not even that much, and it's not like the story stops for that. But I'll reserve this for both when we get to the reboot and eventually to the May Cry 5.
That's going to be a while from now, anyway.
Also, Dweebs, didn't you say that you hadn't even really seen Devil May Cry the reboot in full?
I've played it, but I think that was what I can recall from what I've read.
Oh!
The only reference they did.
No, trust me, they did way worse than just that. Let me put it like this: Devil May Cry 5 does it tastefully. Reboot did not.
Anyway, see you for the next part, hoping that we'll find Malik again.
See you then.
Yep.